Hello YouTube, this is Travis Stone with MDL, and this is my vlog for August 25th, 2015. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. We have finished with Girl Scouts, and we had our final farewell party on Sunday. It was definitely a tearjerker, lots of tissues, myself included. It was good to see that the girls are definitely going to miss each other. Some of them are, still have school and classes together. Some of them are in certain activities together. So a lot of them will still get to see each other, but there will be a few that go to other schools. So kind of a sad day, very somber. I did put together a video. Kind of a farewell video going through pictures from year to year that I happened to have collected over that time. I'd love to post it on YouTube, but unfortunately I did use some copyrighted audio, so unfortunately I will not be posting that video here on YouTube. But I'm going to miss the girls. A lot of them, I'll be honest, I've known since they were practically babies in my book. Most of them were 5 or 6 years old when they started, and some of them weren't even born yet. And like I said, I'm going to miss them. We've met week in and week out. I've been to a lot of different Girl Scout activities. And like I said, I've got to watch these girls grow up, and some of them are kind of like kids of my own. Some of them I wish was more like my kid. Some of them I wish my kid was more like. But there was a few that just wouldn't stop crying, and it was it was really hard to hold back the tears as much as I did. But like I said, we're ready to move on. My wife's been troop leader for a couple of years now, and she's been A leader for 5 or 6. And it's just, I'll be honest, we're kind of done with it. Anybody who manages a Girl Scout troop will know there's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of paperwork. We still have some things to take care of. We've got to do our end of financials. We've got lots of arts and craft supplies that we're going to have to divvy out to some of the other troops. A few girls are staying on, moving on to other troops. One girl decided to do, her mom's going to do her as an independent. So we got them all, and we got the girls their new sashes and whatnot, so that they can go to their new troop. They'll have their proper troop number and can start fresh. So unfortunately, there's only three girls moving on. The rest, a lot of them are so wrapped up in other activities. They hadn't really done a ton in the last year or so. So I kind of expected that they weren't going to continue on, but my daughter was ready to move on to other things, and she's, wrapped up in gymnastics right now, which is mostly because she wants to be a cheerleader next year. So she's trying to get her tumbles and flips and all that squared away, which she's doing very well at. And, but it's definitely like I said, definitely a sad moment. Kids are back to school, and one was happy to go back to school, and the other one would rather stay home and play video games. But they're both doing all right. So far, they're coming home, taking care of their homework, and they're not giving me too much fuss about it. So, but we'll see how that goes through the course of the year. Son is playing football, and I have talked a little bit about this. His scrimmage was a couple of weeks ago. He actually got quite a bit of game time in. I was really surprised. I've been really proud of how well he has stuck through the practices and the conditioning, and I mean, he really has been working hard. He's been playing hard, and it looks like he's going to be offensive tackle. He really would prefer defensive tackle, but you know, he's definitely just happy that it looks like he's gonna actually get some play time, because he's at the age group now where play time is not guaranteed. There's no guarantee at this point that he'll play one game or any game, but it is looking like I said, he's gonna be playing offense. Next game's come up here on Thursday, and I'm looking forward to see how the team does. So far, they're looking pretty good. Coaches are working them hard. Definitely keeping them on their toes and trying to get them set up with all the new plays and things like that. So a couple weekends ago, went to the Igniters car show, and I got the t-shirt. I don't know how well it's in view, but I know it's a show. It happens in Chilllicothe every year, usually somewhere towards the end of August, and it's always a good show. Lots of really awesome hot rods, and cars of pretty much almost every era. And like I said, I've been to it many times. I can't say I've been in the last few years since I've moved up here to Columbus, but this time I decided to go, partly because I've really not got a chance to go to any shows this year. We've been so tied up with Girl Scouts, and then I hurt my back, and it's just kind of really put a hamper on some of the activities I wanted to tackle this season. But the other reason why I was going was my best friend James. I've known him for almost as long as I've known Doc, and I don't get to see James as much as I do Doc, but we still chat, we still play games occasionally online, and he does come up and visit from time to time. And his dad passed away this last year, and his dad had completed his kind of dream project, which is a 32 Plymouth, and he really, his dad's health had really kind of deteriorated the last few years, and his dad decided that thing had been in the garage for as long as I can remember. It was the last time I actually saw it. It had a layer of rust on it, and it was setting up on blocks. And his dad's like, I'm gonna finally, he kind of had to retire because of his health problems. And he's like, I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna get it done, and he did. He got the car put together, and it really looked awesome. His dad did the paint. His dad did all most of the work. I think he did have the interior work done through somebody, and then he had it pinstriped in fact, the guy was there at the show doing other pinstriping he does every year. But like I said, really awesome car. It was kind of funny. Him and I were talking and said, I remember having a candid conversation with your dad, and I was like, I remember some things he said he would never put on that hot rod. I said, I kind of remember, like, no power, nothing, and it had some really awesome trick power windows, and it had a nice little audio system in it. Nothing super fancy, just nice cruising audio. His dad did sound dead in the floor, and like I said, it was some nice touches. There certainly there were things I think I would clean up a little bit, but other than that, I mean, his dad did a really, really awesome job putting that car together. And it was good to see his mom. I hadn't gotten to see his mom in a while, and seen his sister. I actually hadn't seen her even longer. But yeah, it was just, I just felt like I needed to be there. I didn't. James didn't actually call me when his dad passed away. I would have actually went to the funeral, but it was. I just felt going to honor his dad and give me a chance, like I said, to go see the car show. And it is my hometown, so any excuse to hang out and whatnot. But, so as you can tell, I'm shooting kind of in my little man cave room, the spare bedroom. Doc has returned home. That happened a couple of weeks ago. I'm finally starting to get to use the fistula. It's been kind of a little slow going. There's been some hiccups on it. I haven't talked to him this week. I think if this week goes well, he may get the tubes out next week. I will update, though, let everybody know how that goes. But he just felt a little homesick, and to be honest, he was here longer than he was planning on. The plan was maybe the second week of July, and then it was like, well, maybe it's going to be the second week of August, and it just kind of kept lingering on, and so he, like I said, he decided to go ahead and go home. Like I said, he was homesick, but it was good to have him here for the summer. I felt bad that he didn't get to participate in any of the activities that we were doing, because he couldn't, he wasn't really allowed to sweat, and he's not allowed to get it wet, and obviously with all the weather that's been going on, it just wasn't any good for him this summer. Next summer, I plan on getting his butt out the door, and him and I are going to be doing lots of activities. I got some different shows I want to go to, and I've got some things that I want to try to kind of knock off my bucket list, if you will. But yeah, I'm really hoping he can. Like I said, he's been doing fairly well with the fistula. They've like I said, it's just that they've had those hiccups, and those hiccups have kind of keep pushing it back for him to get those tubes out of his chest. And trust me, he is ready to get them out of his chest. Sponge baths and this is not. I can't imagine that would ever be a lot of fun. So the Easyrider Rodeo is coming up in a little over a week. I am scheduled it off. I did finally go and get my permit renewed. My back's been starting to feel better, so I'm gonna be taking the bike out and getting some miles on it. I changed the oil on the bike to get it ready for that weekend. It's kind of interesting. I've only put 643 miles, I think was the exact number, since May of last year. But I kind of ran into this issue last year. It was kind of like, in a way, kind of like this year. It was, but even worse this year, because last year I rode mostly, back and forth to work. That's really about the only, and I occasionally got to ride some short trips on the weekends. And then this year, we had a week, 6-7 days of good weather out of a month and a half, I think it was. And it just kept lingering on. And then just about the time the sky parted and it was all hunky-dory, I hurt my back. You go figure. So it was just one thing after another. And I had let my permit lapse. It ended, I think, the end of July. And I had planned on the following week going in and getting my permit renewed, and I think that's about the time I hurt my back. So that just threw everything into a tizzy. But like I said, it's all good to go. The bike's running good. My stepdad changed the fuel line and the fuel filter a week or so ago. And I, like I said, I went ahead and got the oil changed and got all that good to go. I was actually kind of surprised how dark the oil was. You'd think not having that many miles on it, it wouldn't have been that dark, but I figured it's been over a year. I better get it changed, and I figure I'll probably get a few hundred miles in it before the end of the season. It'll be good for the winter. It'll be good and settled in, and should be ready to park when the weather turns cold, which I hate to think about. Cold weather is just not even something I want to even talk about. Some reason my DSLR is either totally taking a crap on me or the battery is taking a crap on me. And to be honest, I'm ready to get a new one. I'm gonna start looking real hard when the right one comes for the right price. I think I'm gonna buy a brand new DSLR. I am gonna stick with Canon. I do like the Canons. Obviously, it's probably one of the best shooting cameras of the DSLRs, and I already have accessories for it. So, I've got lenses and things like that. So I'm gonna try to look for a body, and whether it be new or used or whatever, but definitely something I'm gonna have to start looking at pretty heavily. It was recently reported that on a particular ballot for president was signed up for D's nuts. And apparently it was a 15-year-old who went through and filed the paperwork and got it all on the ballot, but it was funny. It was and it was like a slew of bad jokes for about a week about D's nuts, and it's just interesting that you can pretty much get anybody on the ballot if you know how to file the paperwork and whatnot. And as far as the candidates here lately, it's just nobody's really sounding front runner. Donald Trump is always in the news, though, to be honest, I really don't expect him to win. I think this is just more of a, hey, I can file all this as tax-free money, and people are going to give me money to live on for a year or so. And I really think that's what that's really about. It's about money with Trump. It usually is. And I kind of want Chris Christie to really have he's right now on my eyeball list of candidates I think have a good chance of winning and maybe a good fit for the country. He's a little bit different type of politician, and right now different is what we need. Hillary Clinton, I really don't think is going to have a good chance. She may sit well with some female voters, but I just don't think she's got enough this time around after everything that's gone on the last few years. Oh, it's too early for this. I really just don't think she's going to win, and I haven't seen any other Democrat on the list that even looks good. And I'm the kind of guy, I will vote Republican or Democrat. I do not vote on a party line. I would normally associate myself more Democrat than Republican, but I will vote for the person I think is the best choice. I have voted both ways. And so, some people may find that offensive, but I think picking a better candidate, even if he doesn't have all your political views, is always a better choice than picking some snot, someone who's just not fit for the job. And I see too many people that will vote Democrat or vote Republican because they're Democrat or Republican. And to me, anybody that does that is an idiot. And if you can't take the time to make a good, informed, decision on that, I pity you. You probably shouldn't be voting. But that's the kind of voters they want. So that's enough for the political stuff. A particular famous wax museum, and I apologize if I keep looking to my left. I had to put some notes down. The last couple times I've done these vlogs, I keep forgetting to add. It was like stuff I know I wanted to talk about, and then I got through it and I started rewatching it. I'm like, why did I forget to talk about that? But anyway, a particular famous wax museum did a wax of Nicki Minaj and it's the scene from Anaconda video. And hilariously enough, they did not provide adequate protection or space on, and some people were doing lewd things to the wax figure. One of them looked like they were trying to kiss her. Another one looked like he was eating that booty. And one guy straight up looked like he was pounding the shit out of that wax figure. And it's just, it's horrible. And it's like, but on the same boat, I know people. And Philly D, I was watching his video when he was talking about that, and he's like, I know 10 friends. And I'm kind of the same way. I know at least 10 people that would try the same thing just because. And it's sad that we were so childish, but like I said, I know people that would do that. And it's just wrong. Speaking of wrong, recently in the news, a Belfast woman killed her sons because her husband wasn't giving her and her daughter, specifically her daughter, enough attention. But I also say the other thing that disturbs me dramatically, and this was actually a conversation I was having with somebody I know who takes in foster children, that in many cases, if there's no major foul play, or if they can't determine that somebody was involved when hurting a child, that a judge will send them back to their parents. And I'm thinking, the worst part is the last child, and she had already killed 2 of them. She had 3 boys, and the judge gave the child back to her. There 2 dead children, to me, is legitimate enough to prevent a child to remove other children from the home. At least until some point when psychiatric evaluations have been made and things like that have been properly done to determine that there is no danger whatsoever to the other children. There's nothing that tears me up more than to hear those type of stories. And here lately, it's all over the news. It seems like here lately, every time you turn around, some woman's killing her child. I saw one just today about a woman who apparently had a child at work, threw it in a bag, and threw it in her desk, and continued working. How sick are you? There are people that just, in this world, that are just insane, and we're sometimes just as guilty of not helping these people and not making sure that these people don't hurt others. But like I said, to hurt a child, to me, is the deepest, darkest, sickest thing that you could possibly do. But to physically hurt or kill your child, like I said, it's just unfathomable in my mind. Maybe that's the mark of a sane person. And I never actually attributed myself to be completely sane. But yeah, and I hate to do my vlog and talk about sad and depressing things like that, but it's something that's been weighing heavily on me right now, and like I said, I think about that, and I just can't reconcile that in my mind. So, but anyway, I'm trying to think, was there anything else? Gosh, my mind's now just I'm going to go get my eyes checked like usual, and so I can get my contacts for my to wear with my riding glasses, because I really should. I am supposed to wear corrective lenses in some form, and my riding glasses do not have prescription in them, so I need to go get contacts. I'm going to do that here later today, and I got to make a trip up to the Micro Center. I got to return something I bought for this machine. I kind of bought a cheap wireless gaming keyboard and mouse, And it was just horrible. And I'll be doing a review of that here very soon on the SD project. I already took the pictures and video for it, so I gotta put it together. Anyway, so I think that's where I'm gonna end my vlog today. I apologize for the sad ending, but something, like I said, I wanted to talk about. Hopefully here in the next few weeks I'm gonna actually get some gaming in. Thanks to James, the person I talked about earlier. I'm gonna be playing some DayZ Arma 2. So with the DayZ mod here very soon, and kind of looking forward to that. So anyway, this is me signing off. I hope everybody has a great day and has a great week, and we will catch you later.